Hey guys, it's Mandak coming at you guys with another video. So today I figured I'd take some time and go over my collection for my comics. I don't really have a haul this week, so I might have something next week for you guys, depending on what I order. But right now, I figured I'd take some time and do a collection update video. I didn't do one last year, which I'm a little mad about because probably would have been nice to have them consistently over the years. Obviously, I did do one in 2018, so you guys can go check that out in the playlist. This one will be added to that playlist as well. But yeah, I figured I'd just go through my collection, guys, kind of show you what I have, and we'll go from there. Obviously, as we go through this collection, I might be showing off some statues and Lego sets along the way. I guess it'll just be a conglomerate thing, but obviously it's more or less my comic collection as a whole. So, but yeah, just as a heads up for you guys, as I already alluded to, I did do a haul video I did do a collection video like this back in 2018, so definitely go check that out. The quality of that's definitely a lot worse than this one. Obviously, I'm filming on a better camera, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I have these two figures here, but I will be actually going over towards my TV here, so you might see a little bit of cam as I turn over. So without further ado, I will do that. So we'll walk over there. So first shelf here is, so I have two shelves alongside my TV, and for the longest time, I didn't have any comics on them. I kind of wanted to keep all my comics over here on these shelves over there. But as my collection grew, I obviously ran out of space, so I decided to put them over here. So as you can see here, you can kind of see all of my Avengers Volume 1 stuff mostly, and then continuing on to some other stuff as well. But I'll just show, I'm not going to go over all these epic collections here, but you can kind of see how they look. Sorry for the light, the glare. It's obvious these books are shiny. So you got Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Once an Avenger, Masters of Evil, Behold the Vision, Avengers Defenders War, The Final Threat, Legacy of Thanos, Absolute Vision 1 and 2. You have Under Siege, Judgment Day, The Collection Obsession, Galactic Storm, Fear the Reaper, The Gatherer's Strike, Iron Man, Avengers First Sign, Avengers Disassembled, Vision and the Scarlet Witch, the first miniseries, and then Vision and the Scarlet Witch, A Year in the Life, which is the Maxi series, which I still haven't read yet, so I'm really excited to hopefully read that at some point. Over here, we have the two complete collections by Jeff Johns Avengers stuff. You also have Kurt Busiek and George Perez's Avengers run, the first volume of that. Sorry if you can hear a dog barking in the background. Apparently I like to be loud right now. And then we get into some West Coast Avengers stuff, which is actually jumping off of a point over here that I will show you guys later. This is the reason why this is over here is because this is all paperbacks. So you got Along Came a Mockingbird, Ultron Unbound, Avengers, The Death of Mockingbird, and then we get into some Force Work stuff, and Avengers Volume 5 stuff with Jason Aaron, some spin-off stuff, so Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and then Young Avengers. I obviously have more Avengers paperbacks, but this is kind of like Avengers proper stuff that I kept up here, so... and over here as well, you can see there's two Panini books, Avengers West Coast volumes that are also filling in that gap there. So for me personally, since the epics have been coming out for the Avengers West Coast stuff, I may end up upgrading to those, but we'll see. Yeah. All right. So you can obviously see here, zoom for vision. Down here, we have my Cap shelf. So, thank you, Marvel, for printing a lot of epic collections for Cap, because I think I have almost all of them. If not, I think one or two are missing, but actually I think I might actually have all of them here. So you have Captain America Lives Again, Coming of the Falcon, Bucky Reborn, Hero or Hoax, Dawn's Early Light, Society of Serpents, Justice is Served. This should be an epic someday, but it's a large paperback. The Captain, The Bloodstone Hunt, Streets of Poison, The Superior Stratagem, Blood and Glory, and A Man Without a Country. So that's pretty much a lot of my, I think that's all of my Captain America Volume 1 stuff. And then you get into Marvel Knights, you get into some Brubaker stuff, which I have sadly collected only in one paperback. Patiently waiting for that omnibus reprint, hopefully. Steve Rogers, Super Soldier, and then you get into Rick Remender's run, and then you have Nick Spencer's run with Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson, and kind of tying in all that stuff as well into up to Secret Empire. So, and then we have Mark Waid's return back to the character. I do have Waid stuff. It's in Marvel Premier Classic, so it's on a different shelf, which I will show later. Might end up redistributing it over here because it's obviously supposed to fit right like here or so. I think right here. Yep. All right, so that's Captain America shelf. You can see here I have some more zooms. I'm really excited to have this cap shelf. I didn't know I had that many Captain America stuff until now, but really got to get around to reading some of that stuff. All right, so moving down here, we have the Spider-Man shelf. So we can kind of see over here some more epics. So I will move the Iron Spider out of the way. You have Ghosts of the Past, Kraven's Last Hunt, Cosmic Adventures, Return of the Sinister Six, and Round Robin. So a lot of post kind of Michelini and McFarlane stuff here going on, but obviously the Ghost of the Past one is kind of before that as well, obviously. Maximum Carnage, this was a really old paperback that I got from a place one time, and it actually has near to the same exact contents as the Epic, so no need to get the Epic. Some spin-off stuff here, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Marvel team-up stuff that I like. Death of Jean DeWolf is an old trade paperback that I have, so I think that's collected in there, some issues. Spider-Man Blue, and then you get into your Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. So the first all 22 volumes of the Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1 stuff, then you get Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 2, and then you get Ultimate Comics with Miles Morales. Some more Miles Morales stuff in the 616 universe. Spidey, which is kind of like a spin-off series. Spider-Woman stuff going on here as well. And then you get Superior Spider-Man first complete collection. Still got to hunt down the second one, so I'll have to get that at some point. You can see here some Lego mechs that Lego has released over the years. They're kind of cringy, but I put them here because there's nowhere else to put them. So, and then you got your Funko Pop figure there, and Zoom, and then obviously this thing which I bought last year at Keystone Comic Con, if I'm not mistaken. All right, moving down here, we have all of my oversized hardcovers that aren't like Marvel Now trade dress, if that makes any sense. So you have Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, Avengers The Origin, Rage of Ultron, Batman The Dark Knight Saga, Batman The Killing Joke, Black Panther by Coates, Volume 1 hardcover, Camelot 3000, Captain America White, Captain America Theater of War, Iron Man Extremis, Iron Man Fatal Frontier, Marvel 1602, Marvel Projects, the Marvel Projects, Mighty Avengers by Dan Slott, Dark Reign, whatever you want to call it. Secret Wars, S.H.I.E.L.D., Architects of Forever, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I read that last summer, didn't like it. Spider-Man, Star Wars by Jason Aaron, all 3 volumes there. I read all 3 of those, really enjoyed it. Star Wars Heroes for a New Hope. That collects the Chewbacca, Leia, and Lando series. So, read that. Darth Vader by Kieran Gillen. Darth Vader by Charles Soule. Star Wars Shattered Empire. Then you get into some Thanos OGNs over here, which I haven't read any of them yet. So I think I had to collect 2 more. And then you get into Trinity. Read that last summer. Really enjoyed that. Vision, and then Kill or Be Killed. I'm going to sneeze real quick. Nothing like sneezing on camera. Am I right? Obviously, this Kill or Be Killed is out of order because I just bought it and I don't know where to put it, so I just put it right there. So, sue me. Down here, it's a little bit darker, so excuse the lighting, but we have Amazing Spider-Man Worldwide, Volume 1, Deadpool, World's Greatest, all of the Guardians of the Galaxy by Brian Michael Bendis, which I've already read. Really enjoyed reading that. Hawkeye by Fraction. Hawkeye by Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire's is volume 3. Ms. Marvel. I think there's a 5th hardcover out, which I have to get around to getting at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the modern Ms. Marvel stuff in oversized hardcover. Spider-Gwen had the first 2 volumes. Felt really disappointed with the 2nd hardcover. So debating whether or not to get the 3rd. So we'll see about that. Spider-Man the Graphic Novels is a pretty cool book. A lot of like one-off like, over, large stories, kind of large format stories. So really cool to see those OGNs kind of, obviously graphic novels they're called. Thor by Jason Aaron, volume 1, hardcover. I have not tracked down the other hardcovers yet, so might need to get onto that. Uncanny Inhumans, I bought that because it was on sale at a Second and Charles for $10. And here I have some Spider-Gwen stuff going on. I had the Zoom Zoom, this like little metal figure here, and then this little statue that I bought from somebody one time. So, yeah, little Spider-Gwen thing going on there. We'll make our way up here, but first I guess might want to show my pop figures for Iron Man. Don't really collect a lot of pop figures. I just collect the Iron Man ones, so you can kind of see here the ones I have. So if anyone's who's curious about those. Let's see, as I move up here. So we'll get here to the Iron Man shelf. So I was always thinking about doing like a separate video talking in depth about this. I might still do that, but for right now, you can kind of see what my Iron Man paperback shelf looks like. Starting here, we have The Enemy Within, which is the beginning of Denny O'Neil's run. We have Duel of Iron, Return of the Ghost, Doom, War Games, Iron Man War Machine, Hands of the Mandarin. And then, so basically this is where volume 1 of Iron Man ends for me in terms of paperbacks. And then you get into Heroes Reborn, and then Iron Man by Joe Quesada, which actually I'm selling because I have the omnibus that collects this material now. Avengers Disassembled Iron Man, which I think is still volume 3. I don't know. Iron Man Civil War, which is I think volume 4. And then you get Director of S.H.I.E.L.D., which actually comes right after this book right here. And then just a little bookend to this volume as well. You get Secret Invasion by Secret Invasion War Machine, which I think collects like 3 issues of Iron Man Volume 4 material. And then when you get into Matt Fraction's Invincible Iron Man stuff, which actually starts at Volume 7 because I have the 2 oversized hardcovers that go up to Volume 6 for this series. So that's why they're there. Yeah, I feel like I really need to reorganize my shelf because it doesn't make sense that like half the series is like right here. But it kind of makes sense in my mind. I guess not, maybe. Whatever. Over here is all of Kieran Gillen's run on Iron Man, which I still have not yet read. So really excited to hopefully read that at some point. You have Superior Iron Man. So those 2 hardcovers. And then we get into Bendis's run on Iron Man. So he has the Invincible Iron Man stuff, International Iron Man, and then the Ironheart stuff. So that's a pretty interesting dress there. Invincible Iron Man, Ironheart, or Riri Williams. Those are the names of the books. So, and then you have Iron Man Search for Tony Stark. And I think that's the last stuff that Bendis writes for Invincible Iron Man before he goes over to DC. So, some other kind of spin-off things here. You have Iron Man 2020. You have Iron Man 2.0, Iron Man vs. Whiplash, Iron Man War of the Iron Man Rapture, Iron Man The End, Iron Man Hypervelocity, Iron Man The Inevitable. And then we get into some War Machine stuff as I move my little Endgame War Machine mech suit out of the way. War Machine Classic, Volume 1. Never was a Volume 2, so that's kind of sad. I hope they make a new one someday, but I doubt it. War Machine Dark Reign, Volume 2. I have Volume 1 in a hardcover, so I will show that when I get down here. And then U.S. War Machine, which is a Max series that came out for War Machine that has a bunch of stuff that I probably can't thumb through and show you on this camera. So, all right. So down here is where we get into my standard size hardcovers. So obviously, if it wasn't part of like, if it wasn't part of like a main series run, kind of like for like something like in full, I kind of put it down here. So you have Legends of the Dark Knight by Norman Breyfogle, Volume 1, rest in peace. He actually recently passed away. Captain America, No Man's Land. Oh, no, sorry, not No Man's Land. Captain America, Man at a Time, I can't read. Daredevil, Parts of a Whole, which actually fits between Kevin Smith's stuff and the beginning of Bendis, I believe. So that's a good hardcover to kind of track down. Oh, my finger's in the way. Doctor Strange Season 1, Marvel's Eye of the Camera, which is like a follow-up series to Marvel's, obviously. Iron Man Industrial Revolution, Iron Man Legacy of Doom. And then we get into some Secret Avengers hardcovers, which I was actually able to track down like all these for like $5 each, which was a pretty good deal, I feel like. The only one I have to find still is the Rick Remender Secret Avengers Volume 3. So I'll have to find that at some point. Thor, Iron Man, God Complex. I bought that because Iron Man was in it. It wasn't really that good. Then you get into JMS's run on Thor. 3 hardcovers there. Ultimate Comics, Iron Man, Armor Wars. Kind of a one-off spin-off of the original Armor Wars stuff of Iron Man. Let's see, what else? This is the first hardcover of the War Machine series I was telling you guys about. Greg Pak. Ultimate Comics Hawkeye, Ultimate Comics Ultimates, both by Jonathan Hickman. Ultimate Comics Thor, also by Hickman. All these books I bought solely for that Hickman readathon that I'm inevitably going to have to read so I can understand it all at some point. X-Men Magneto Testament. And then we get into my Marvel Premiere Classics, which is actually a line of books that Marvel recently canceled. So we won't be seeing any more of these kind of nice little books here anymore, which is a little disappointing. I do like the design of these books, and it's a shame that they're not coming back. But yeah, so you got West Coast Avengers kind of stuff going on here. 5 volumes of those. And then you have your Mark Waid stuff as well. So that's kind of what I was mentioning earlier, how I have some Mark Waid stuff over there in Epic, and this stuff kind of continues on with that. Some Hercules Marvel Premiere Classics right here. So both by Bob Layton. Return of the Burglar, probably kind of one of the high points of Marv Wolfman's run on Spider-Man. You have Liberty Legion, kind of a Thing story. Thor, The Warriors 3 Unleashed, and X-Men Fallen Angels. And then we get into my 2 Marvel Masterworks that I found for $5 each at a con one year. I have USA Comics Volume 2, and Golden Age Captain America Volume 5. So, don't know if I'll ever read those, but it's cool to kind of have some Marvel Masterworks in my collection. So, I'm actually going to skip a few shelves down so I can start with alphabetically all my omnibus and work up. So, I will go like this. I won't spoil anything for you guys. All right, so I'm sitting down on my couch, or not my couch. I'm sitting down on my floor right now, and we'll go through these omnibus here. So, Amazing Spider-Man, we got volumes 1, 2, and 4. I am hoping for a reprint of volume 3. Did not buy it when it came out, and I'm kicking myself for that. Obviously, I've read all that material before, but it's nice to kind of hopefully go back one day, excuse me, and read it in color. You get into The Amazing Spider-Man by Michelini and McFarland right there. So, really enjoyed that series. I felt like it kind of lived up to the hype that it had. Amazing Spider-Man by JMS and John Romita Jr. and Mike Deodato. Volume 1. Volume 2 was supposed to come out earlier this year, but with everything going on, it actually got delayed. So hopefully we'll be able to purchase that later at some point. And then we get into the Avengers stuff. So I have Avengers The Crossing. I read an issue from this for one of our podcasts over on Crackle Comics, and I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, might end up reading that at some point. We'll see. We got both Avengers Omnibus by Jonathan Hickman. Daredevil by Frank Miller and Klaus Jensen. Daredevil by Brubaker and Lark. Both volumes there. And Daredevil by Waid and Chris Samney. Both volumes there. So, the only thing I don't have in oversized format, like for Daredevil proper stuff that I would like to have, is Bendis. I have that in paperback. So, yeah, may or may not end up upgrading to that. We'll see. I've already read it all, so it kind of doesn't really make sense to me, but we'll see. So that's my first omnibus shelf there. Moving up here to the second one, we got Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme Omnibus Volume 1. I found this at a store for 40 bucks. That's why I bought it. Fantastic Four by John Byrne Volume 1. Hoping to get a Volume 2 reprinted at some point. So fingers crossed for that. Planet Hulk by Greg Pak. Found this at a store for about 25 bucks, 30 bucks or so. Was really fortunate to steal that. Not really, I got it for a steal. I didn't actually steal it. Then we get into all my Iron Man omnibus here. Iron Man Volume 1 by David Michelinie and Bob Layton and John Romita Jr. Iron Man by Kurt Busiek and Sean Chen. Iron Man, The Mask of the Iron Man. The Mask in the Iron Man. So this is Joe Quesada, and then stuff afterwards. You can see my two Marvel, I forget what they're called, Marvel Selects, or I don't know what they're called. Marvel Legends, that's what they are. My two Invincible Iron Man, Fraction and La Roca hardcovers, but on Amazon, I remember seeing them called Omnibus, but they're definitely not, so I don't know why I have them here, honestly, but whatever. Justice League International Omnibus, I found this at a store for 35 bucks, and it's pretty beat up, but 35 bucks for that, it's not bad at all. Silver Surfer by Dan Slott and I forget what the first name is, Alred. I think that's the name, Alred. Whatever, I can't talk. Moving on here, Squadron Supreme by Mark Grunwald. Got this book for $15 at a store, which was a good deal, I guess. Star Wars, the original Marvel years. I have volumes 2 and 3, so if anyone knows a place where I can get volume 1 that isn't crazy cheap, crazy expensive, let me know. Otherwise, I may end up downgrading to Epics, so we'll see. Over here, you can kind of see my little Boba Fett figure there. Up here is kind of my X-Men shelf, if you will, which with some other stuff thrown in as well. So you have Thor by Walt Simonson and Sal Buscema. I haven't really read that yet, so hopefully reading that at some point. Uncanny Avengers by Rick Remender. Uncanny X-Men Volumes 1, 2, and 3. Volume 4 was announced. I don't think it's been solicited yet, so we'll see about that. X-Men Classic, X-Men Mutant Massacre, and then the oversized hardcover for Fatal Attractions. You can also see here some statues. I have a Kitty Pryde bust and a Wolverine bust, which I was able to find. And then we have some X-Men Legos going on and a ship in a bottle, because why not? So those are my two shelves, guys. Those are kind of the shelves that are between my TV here. So I'm really excited to have those. And the rest of the stuff that I'll show here is what you see in the background of all my videos, and it's all my paperbacks. So I will jump over there. So starting off with the cube over here and working our way over and down and over again until we get to the bottom is Avengers stuff right here. So I got all the Mighty Avengers, New Avengers Volume 1 stuff, Siege, some other New Avengers stuff, the second volume of that. And then we get into some other smaller paperbacks for Avengers. Avengers 4 was a cool little series to read. All New Avengers, Secret Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, the second volume of that, Occupy Avengers, Mighty Avengers, and some more New Avengers stuff. And then to finish it off, we get into Avengers Academy. So just some other kind of like spin-off titles, secondary titles for Avengers. Over here, we have some more stuff with the letter A. So we get Age of Ultron, we get an Armor Wars, Secret Wars tie-in from 2015, Annihilation, both complete collections there. Really excited to read that at some point. Avengers Axis, which is another event. Avengers versus X-Men Versus. This is not the Avengers versus X-Men event. This is like a spin-off version of that. So I screwed up with that one. Fear Itself, the Avengers. It's kind of like a it's a tie-in, obviously, for the Fear Itself event. And then we get into my very small Ant-Man collection. Ant-Man, the Man in the Anthill, which is the very first Ant-Man stuff. You can still get that online. Ant-Man, Giant Man, Growing Pains, The Astonishing X-Men, or Astonishing Ant-Man, complete collection by Nick Spencer. Really excited to hopefully sit down and read that whole series at one point. Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then to finish it off, we get America. So, America Chavez. Over here, you can kind of see here too, some little Ant-Man memorabilia stuff going on here. So, over here is all of my Batman, Bat-People related stuff, I guess, if you will. We have Batman The Golden Age, volumes 1 and 2, paperbacks. We have Batman Death in the Family, Tales of the Batman by Tim Sale, Batman Year 1, Batgirl Robin Year 1, Batman Second Chances, Batman Dark Victory, The Long Halloween, Gates of Gotham, Black and White Volume 1, and then you have some of Batman and Robin, Tomasi's Volume 1, which I have to probably get around to buying some more of at some point, because I really like Tomasi's writing, so really excited to hopefully get that collected at some point. And then we have Scott Snyder's run, well, the first 3 volumes at least. I have to track down the other ones, but haven't been to a store in a while, so I really haven't had an opportunity to do that. And then we have some Tom King Batman, so volumes 1 and 2 of that series. Still got to track down that stuff at some point. Batwoman by Greg Rucka. And to finish it off, I don't know why he's here, but Black Knight, The Fall of Dane Whitman. I don't know why he's on that shelf, so I'll have to move him over at some point, but yeah. Over here is my Black Panther shelf. So you can see here the Lego set that came out in 2018 for that movie. But yeah, so I have Black Panther, Panther's Rage, which is the Don McGregor stuff. Revenge of the Black Panther, which is Jack Kirby's run on the character. Black Panther, Panther's Quest, which again is Don McGregor. You have Black Panther by Christopher Priest, volumes 1 through 4. And then Black Panther by Reginald Hudlin, volumes 1 and 2. I think there's a 3rd volume that I gotta get at some point, so hopefully we'll be able to track that down. And then Black Panther World of Wakanda. I found that at a Books A Million for like $3. So, all right. Moving over here, we have some more B to C stuff. So we get into my Black Widow collection here. So Black Widow, you have the Itsy Bitsy Spider, Homecoming, Edmondson's run on Black Widow. Then you get Wade's run, which I actually just bought that collection. So really nice to have that there. Then we have Bullseye miniseries, Cage miniseries, Captain Britain by Alan Davis, Captain Marvel, the original Marvel stuff in that Masterworks paperback. And then we get into Captain Marvel, this really confusing title here. Captain Marvel, my voice is cracking. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, The Miss Marvel Years, volumes 1 and 2. And the trade dress got screwed up on those, so that's really weird. And then we get DeConnick's run on Captain Marvel, volumes 1 through 4 of those. I think there's a 5th one, could be wrong. Life of Captain Marvel. Then we have the Catwoman stuff, so Brubaker. And then we get into Pfeiffer, kind of finishing it off. But yeah, really excited to hopefully have tracked all that down. So really excited to hopefully read that at some point. I'm really enjoying a lot of Brubaker stuff. Champions Classic Volume stuff going on. Volume 2 of Champions is right there. These little 2 paperbacks. Some Civil War books. You got the main event, obviously, then Amazing Spider-Man and Captain America. Civil War 2. Civil War 2 Kingpin. And you have Cloak and Dagger Lost and Found, which I think is the beginning of their ongoing series. So really excited to have that as well. Over here we have some more C to D list titles. So right here you have all of the criminal paperbacks that I was able to find. I still have, I think, 3 more to track down. So really, they look really awesome on the shelf. So really cool to have that. Crisis on Infinite Earths, Cyclops, Dakota North collection, and then we get some Daredevil paperbacks. The Man Without Fear, the very first one. There's a lot of earlier ones out too that I'll have to probably track down at some point, but just trying to justify having that. I heard that early Daredevil is not too good. So Born Again Daredevil. I did have Man Without Fear, but I do not have it anymore. I gave it to somebody and I never got it back. So I'll have to buy that at some point. Again, so that's why it's not here. Obviously, I've read it. So Daredevil, Touch of Typhoid. Picked this up right before it kind of went out of print, so I'm not sure. It might still be in print, but I wanted to get it regardless. Let's see. Daredevil, Guardian Devil, Daredevil battling Jack Murdock, Bendis run on Daredevil, Daredevil Yellow, and then we get into Dark Avenger stuff, some Deadshot, Deathlock, Defenders Epics. I have a few more that I'm kind of looking at to purchase, so hopefully we'll be adding on to this. Kind of get into J.D. Mateus' run on Defenders. The stuff I'm trying to track down, not this stuff. And over here, kind of neatly arranged, is our Doctor Strange shelf. So you can see here the Sanctum Sanctorum set that came out in 2018 with the release of the Avengers Infinity War set. I bought the Sanctum Sanctorum Lego set, so really cool to have that there. I'm trying to grab my breath here. In terms of Doctor Strange, here we have Master of the Mystic Arts, the first epic there, A Separate Reality, Doctor Strange, Don't Pay the Ferryman, Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment, Doctor Strange, Afterlife, Secret Defenders, The Oath, and Doctor Strange and Punisher Magic Bullets, which was a little mini-series that I wasn't a big fan of, but kind of cool to see that team up regardless. Over here, we have some more E to F listed titles. So we have Elektra, some little trade paperbacks for her series, which I think I've read this one. I don't think I've read these two yet, so hopefully we'll be excited to read those. Neil Gaiman's Eternals, which I'll have to read probably before the movie comes out. You have all the Excalibur epics that have been released so far right here in this. So Curiouser and Curiouser is the first epic of just straight Alan Davis stuff. So really excited to be reading that. I still need to read all three of these though. Fantastic Four. I do not have the omnibus for Fantastic Four, but I do have all the epics kind of from the beginning. So some later ones I am holding off on getting because I heard they're not too good, but I do want to have all of Kirby and Lee's stuff in paperback. Over here you have Wade and Marengo's run on Fantastic Four. Then you get into Hickman. I still got to get the second complete collection for that. I think there's going to be more coming out as well. Fantastic 1, 2, 3. Fantastic Four 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic Four Iron Man, big in Japan. And then you have F stuff, so the Fade Out, Falcon over here as well. We'll actually go down here and I'll show the second shelf. Over here we have Fatale, which is actually missing 2 volumes because I actually was reading those right now and I finished them. So I actually do have all of Fatale, but only the first 3 are shown there. Fear Itself, that event. Flash Silver Age Volume 1. Flash Lightning Strikes Twice, the first volume of the Rebirth stuff. Great Lakes Avengers, All New Ghost Rider, Volumes 1 and 2. Ghost Rider 4 on the Floor. Gotham Central Volume 1 by Brubaker. I'm trying to get the other volumes. Then we have my Green Arrow run, which might be growing because I read a Green Arrow story over on Crackle Comics, and I'm really excited to hopefully collect more of that. So Kevin Smith stuff, and then we get into Brad Meltzer's stuff as well. Green Lantern Silver Age Volume 1, picked that up for half off. That was cool to get that. And you can see here the Daily Bugle. Over here is my Guardians of the Galaxy shelf. So we have pretty much all the Guardians collected stuff other than Bendis kind of here if you want to get that. So all these paperbacks are pretty in print, I would say still, and it's really cool to have them all kind of looking like that. So Tomorrow's Avengers, Jim Valentino, Year 3000, Danny Abnett and Lanning stuff, and then we get into some smaller trades, and then we have a Duggan's run, some other kind of like Guardians related books. So you have Rocket Raccoon and Groot, Bite and Bark, Rocket, the Blue River Score, Drax, and Gamora stuff as well. So I've read all this, really enjoyed kind of reading all those different characters. And right here you can see a ship from the Nova Corps from the first movie of Guardians. Over here is H through I, and continuing obviously over on this next shelf as well, but you have Hawkeye, Avenging Archer, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop stuff, Patsy Walker, Hellcat stuff. I I organized it as H for Hellcat rather than P for Patsy. Some Hercules stuff, Twilight of a God, Herc, The Complete Collection by Greg Pak, Hercules Still Going Strong by Danny Abnett, House of M, and then my very small Hulk collection, which I'm hoping to expand on at some point. You got Hulk Future Imperfect, Hulk World War Hulk, Totally Awesome Hulk, which I still got to get a 3rd volume of. And then we get into some other stuff here. So Human Torch and The Thing, The Strange Tales Complete Collection, which is a thick collection that I was able to find for, I think, $10 at a store, which was a good deal. And then we have all of my Infinity books right here. So Infinity Gauntlet, Aftermath, War, Infinity War Aftermath, Crusade Volume 1. Still gotta get Crusade Volume 2. And Infinity Watch Volumes 1 and 2. And then Infinity Entity. And right here you can see the Thanos mech that came out this year for LEGO. Over here is some more eye stuff. So Inhumans, Iron Fist by Brubaker, and Fraction, I believe. Incognito, All New Invaders, and then all 3 compendiums of the Invincible series, which I'm hoping to read at some point. Really excited to read that. And I've only heard great things about that series. Over here is actually no comics. It's actually my Apollo 11 Lunar Lander set that I bought back in February. So really excited to have that kind of displayed for everyone to kind of see. So yeah, that came out really cool. Over here is some more books I through J. As you can see here, Emmett's house from LEGO Movie 2. We get Iron Patriot, all the Jessica Jones stuff that I currently own, so all the Alias books, which you can see here, the trade dresses are all different. Jessica Jones, The Pulse, the complete collection for that. And Bendis's new run on Jessica Jones that was just called Jessica Jones. So really excited. I really enjoyed reading all of those books. That was a really good... Jessica Jones is definitely one of my favorite characters. If you're just looking at writing, I mean, all this stuff here is really well done. So yeah. Justice League, we have some Silver Age paperbacks, 1 and 3. I found those at a store for half off, so that's why I got them. JLA Year 1, JLA Earth 2, Justice League, Tornado's Path, and Lightning Saga. That's Brad Meltzer stuff. So not a lot of Justice League stuff going on, but I'm getting there. Over here we have some K through L stuff, as also we have some little creator sets and also a LEGO store set, which I have bought at the LEGO store. You have Kazar by Mark Waid, Kingdom Come, recently read that, really liked it. Kingpin, Lazarus Volumes 1 and 2, excuse me. Legends 30th Anniversary, Loki, Luke Cage, Second Chances, Volumes 1 and 2 of that series. So a lot of stuff going on there. Over here we have another LEGO creator set with holding these books up kind of as a bookend. So that gold paperback right there is Manhunter. You have Marvel 1985, Marvel Romance Redux, Marvel Zoom Zoom Takeover, Mockingbird by Kane, Volumes 1 and 2, Miss Marvel Epic Collections 1 and 2. So I read the first one, gotta read the second one at some point. Over here, I'll go down here again. We have more N-listed titles. New Frontier, some New Mutants epics. I read this, definitely gotta read this at some point. And you have also Curse of the Valkyries. Has some new Warrior stuff going on. Nick Fury versus S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Classic. Nick Fury Deep Cover Capers. And then we get into some Nova stuff. So Nova Classic Volume 2. Nova by Abnett and Lanning Volume 1. Original Sin stuff. You can kind of see there the little Lex Luthor Battletech armor. Over here, again, no sets, or no comics, but I do have a little bit of a display here of some Spider-Man Far From Home sets. So you have the, what's his name? Magma Man or whatever, I don't know what it is. Yeah, so you got that guy, and then you have some stuff here in the background. So Really cool to have that. Over here, some P listed titles. So you have Paper Girls, volumes 1 through 6. Phantom, Ghost That Walks, The Ghost Who Walks. This is actually one of the first paperbacks I ever owned, and it was from my grandfather. So really excited to have that. Power Man and Iron Fist, volumes 1 and 2 Epic Collections right here. The third one is out, so I might end up picking that up as well, so I can have that kind of to read in a straight run. Power Man, Iron Fist, you know, the 2016 series, I believe. Over here we have some Death Star related sets, so the Tractor Beam set, as well as the Death Star Escape set. Over here, you can kind of hear me moving along the ground. We have Punisher and some Quasar stuff. So we have Punisher Capital Punishment Epic Collection. Got that for, I think, 12 bucks at a store. The Punisher War Journal Classic Volume 1. And then we have all of the Garth Ennis Punisher Max stuff in complete collections. And then we have some Jason Aaron stuff as well over there. So yeah, 1 through 5. I think there's like 6, but I think the only ones that are Ennis are volumes 1 through 4, I believe. So some more Punisher stuff by Edmondson. Excuse me. Quasar Classic. There's another collection out called Quasar Cosmos in Collision, which actually follows up right after this, so I'll have to end up picking that up at some point. Wasn't too impressed with that, though, to be honest. Over here, we have some R through S stuff. We have Realm of the Kings, Red Skull Incarnate, Runaways, volumes 1 and 2. I have to get 3 at some point, but I'm not sure if that collects any Brian K. Vaughan stuff. Speaking of Brian K. Vaughan, here we have volumes 1 through 8 of Saga. Gotta get volume 9 at some point. Scarlet Witch by Joe Robinson. So those 3 trades right there. Read that. Really enjoyed that series. You can also see Luke's kind of like little hut from that island in Last Jedi. Over here we have Secret Warriors, volumes 1 through 6 by Hickman. Secret Invasion, Secret War, Secret Wars, so the first original event by Marvel, as well as the follow-up series as well, the trade paperback for that. So, and on top here you can see Molecule Man, so pretty accurate to put them there. Over here we have the Big Bang Theory Lego Idea set that came out in 2014, I believe. Could be wrong, 2015 maybe. We'll see. Anyway, over here we have some more S-titled books. So Sex Criminals volumes 1 through 6 or 1 through 5. I'm not sure if that's the whole series. I'll have to check. She-Hulk by Dan Slott. All that stuff there. I collected it stupidly. I got the first 3 trades and then I got the second complete collection. So yeah, whatever. She-Hulk by Tamaki. I forget what the first name is. And then we get some classic S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff. S.H.I.E.L.D. by Lee and Kirby. S.H.I.E.L.D. by Steranko. S.H.I.E.L.D. by Mark Waid. And then some S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff by Guggenheim. Let's see. Then you got Siege. You got some Silk stuff. Silver Surfer Epic Collections. Thanos Quest and the Infinity Gauntlet. So just some pretty late, some early to mid-90s Silver Surfer stuff going on there. Over here you have Solar of the Atom, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Starbrand, Star-Lord. All my Star-Lord stuff kind of collected here, right? So you got the original Guardian of the Galaxy stuff there. And then you also have all the little paperbacks. The first omnibus paperback, whatever you want to call it, of Starman, I found that at a store for like $8 or something, so that was a good deal. I'm just going to go down here and then we'll move back over. Actually, no, because I want to do alphabetical. So I'm going to move all the way over here. There are my shoes. Over here is kind of like my little Star Wars shelf. So I have Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin, Star Wars Dark Empire, all these Star Wars epics that I own. So I'm not going to go through all those, but that's kind of what I have. I've been picking them up, as I see them online for cheap. I don't think I spent more than like $12 on any of these. So some Hoth sets going on there. Over here, some more Star Wars stuff kind of spilled over. Storm miniseries. I think I've read that already. Suicide Squad, Superman stuff. Panic in the Sky. Emperor Joker, Superman for All Seasons, Superman Red Sun, Superman Adventures, Secret Identity, the first 3 trades of the Rebirth series, and Superman Batman World's Finest. And some stuff from Jakku over there as well. Over here we have some more, we have all T titles as well. So we have Thanos Redemption, so that's like his first miniseries. Oh, I forgot to mention, these are like 2 little like one-off stories of Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish right there. Thanos, the Infinity Abyss, Thanos Imperative, Project Pegasus, Thing Classic 1 and 2, gotta track down Volume 3 and I'll have all of that. Some Thor epics I have here, so The Wrath of Odin, War of the Pantheons, Immortal Flesh, and The Black Galaxy, which I recently picked up. Thor by Kieran Gillen, which follows JMS's run, which I still haven't read. I gotta read that at some point. Thor, The Mighty Avengers Complete Collection. That's like a separate world type of story, but it's pretty good art going on there. Over here we have Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts Classic, Volumes 1 to 3. Still got to track down the Hawkeye and Thunderbolts collections 1 and 2, so that will follow this stuff. Thunderbolts, more recent paperback right there. A lot of Ultimate stuff here, so Ultimates, Ultimates 2, Ultimate Hulk versus Iron Man, Ultimate Iron Man stuff, Ultimate Comics, Iron Man stuff again, Ultimate Marvel Team Up, and then we get like a Venom paperback that I found for pretty cheap, as well as the Venom mech as well that came. And it actually looks pretty dope. That actually looks really nice there. So, all right. Over here, we get into some Walking Dead compendiums. I think there's 4 out. I have the first 2. I actually bought these compendiums for like 10 bucks each or something, so that was a pretty good deal. War of Kings. Warlock by Jim Starlin, Unstoppable Wasp, Watchmen. Still haven't read that, but picked it up for cheap before the series came out, so I wouldn't get like ripped off. Winter Soldier, Wolverine Epic Collections, starting off from his first volume stuff. Wolverine Weapon X by Barry Windsor Smith. Wolverine Enemy of the State, Wonder Woman, the first volume of her Rebirth stuff. And then we get into some X-Men related books. So we have X Factor, All New, All Different X Factor, and Examinations. And then we get into some later Peter David stuff that I have in paperback. Hopelessly, trying to find all 22 volumes of that is going to be a joke. All New, All Different X Factor. And then we get into some X-Force stuff, Under the Gun, X-Force by Rick Remender. And then actually this is here just to hold these books up, but excuse me, I have my Pokemon manga collection here, the first 7 volumes of that from Kanto. I'm actually reading the first one today, and I'm really enjoying it. So, and they're really quick reads. Like, I'm probably going to finish the first volume tonight. Probably will start the second one tomorrow. So, really excited to read that. A little Banshee Hero clicks up there. This is a lot of my X-Men paperbacks. So, X-Men Children of the Atom, X-Men Lonely Are the Hunted, X-Men The Gift, Fall of the Mutants, Volume 1 and 2, Inferno, Asgardian Wars. Like, these 2 trades are like super old. I found them at stores for pretty cheap. That's why I bought them. Extinction Agenda, Mutant Genesis. So kind of getting into the beginning of like Claremont and Jim Lee's run. X-Men, Bishop's Crossing, Executioner's Song. This book was given to me by a friend because the page was folded on the front, so he gave it to me. Amazing X-Men, New X-Men by, is it Grant Morrison? Yes, just want to make sure I had it right there. Astonishing X-Men by Joss Whedon and John Cassidy. X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue, X-23, Y the Last Man, volumes 1 through 4. I'm not sure how many of these paperbacks there are, but I'm going to try to hopefully collect that all at some point. And last but not least, you got a little Tatooine scene going on there, and then we have Essex County. So recently read that, really enjoyed it. So that's pretty much my whole comic collection, guys. Took 50 minutes to go over, but hope you guys enjoyed that. Obviously every year changes, so probably by next year. Hopefully I'll be in a different apartment and a lot bigger setup, so I'll hopefully be able to display this a little bit nicer. But I think this is good for right now, kind of having the Lego sets interspersed. Yeah, that is my haul, guys, or my haul. That is my collection, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace.